My task is very simple, really, is to say thank you. First, to all of you for your attendance at this forum. It's been an impressive attendance because it has drawn people from all parts of our continent, both politically and linguistically. I commend particularly the gentleman from, is it Mali or Mali, Burkina Faso or something, who joined President Harry Mpimana, whatever it is, in showing the diversity of the participation in this forum. Thank you both very much indeed for your contribution. I also want to take this opportunity to express my delight at the range and spectrum of the participation. Professors, academics, industrialists, business people. There's a difference between being an industrialist and a businessman. One creates, the other one sells. But it has really enriched the level of discussion and the pace of monitoring what was going on around the continent. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for demonstrating a common perception of what the problems are and how they are interrelated, but above all, for identifying the kind of unity, interaction, and cooperation which can advance the cause of African economic independence through proper use and deployment of their natural resources. Thank you very much for this. I was very fearful when we picked the subject that we might drift into talking of the natural resources in terms of minerals only. But I am very glad that we balanced this, and there was very little reference to the wealth, the natural resources that are underground, because I wanted to show that it really starts with what you do on the land and the seas to give you the capacity to go deeper down the ground. So that I am very grateful that we are able to steer along that path. But above all, I want to say thank you for what I think is a common understanding now, which is that the natural resources on this continent and our seas are ours. They are ours. We talk and write about them as if they belong to those who are exploiting them, to those who colonized us. They are not, they are ours. That is the starting point for us setting our right to those natural resources. I'm glad that has come out, I think, in our summary, and I hope you can carry that message forward. I want to thank the presenters. They've been very, very clear and specific. They have stimulated very warm discussions. I have to thank them because almost all of them put an emphasis as a starting point, the question of education and communication. The winner of the essay last night did a great job of consolidating this communication and education. But he said it also, greater recognition raises the anger with which we are being dispossessed of the opposition, of the possibility of using our natural resources for a speedier development. I have heard that word anger used very often. What I want to emphasize is that now that anger must start with us, with you, the delegates to this. I know it must be carried forward by the leaders because they don't seem to be sufficiently angered enough to drive this issue. But in order that they may be weaned into that, it must start with you. I ask that every one of you, whatever their site of work, whatever regional organization they are working in, to try to carry the summaries that we have presented. And if you have additional ones, present them to the Secretariat. To carry those to the knowledge of the organization you serve as a starting point. If you produce any journals, make sure that our summary also appears in them. That can help stimulate the process of discussing natural resource management and climate change. The anger must start with us. With that, really, I am left only As I said, to thank the sponsors who were identified last night, and also the government of Finland. I want to thank the heads of state and government who honored our invitation. I want to thank President Mbeki for the boldness with which he said the problem is not that the path we have chosen to deal with these problems rests very much on the initiative of the leadership too much. In order to get momentum, it must also be driven from the populace. This is very important because otherwise you will have a top-down initiative which winds up at the top. But if it is a down initiative which pushes the top, then we can start having results. That's why I said it must start with us. I know that is a tall political order, and it can be a potential for misunderstandings and conflict. But it is true. Leadership alone must also be held, suspended in office by the drive of the people they lead and those who are downtrodden and dispossessed. So that is another plea that I'm making to all of us. And finally, I want to thank Professor Temu for a job very well done indeed. I noticed the patience with which you sat at the table, taking notes and so on. You have produced a great summary. I want to thank the Secretariat, led by Professor Semboja of the Institute, for organizing this very well. So, in addition to asking you to be the forward carriers of the conclusions we have here, I want to assure you that the Institute will continue to drawing attention to the leadership of Africa in the search and consolidation of that African voice on the global scale that will ensure that we will survive and develop. Thank you all. Enjoy your lunch, travel safely home, and just to show for Professor here that I know a little French, bon voyage.
Jambo la tatu ambalo limesisitizwa ni kitu ambacho kwa Kiingereza kinaitwa political will. Ule utayari wa kisiasa wa viongozi wa Afrika kuchukua maamuzi magumu na kuzisimamia rasilimali hizi ili ziweze kufaidi wananchi. Jambo la 4 ni suala la kutawanya na kuhamasisha uelewa wa rasilimali hizi, awareness raising. Na hili lifanyike kwa wote, sio tu kwa wananchi wa kawaida, lakini hata viongozi. Ni kwa sisi wananchi na viongozi wetu kulielewa hili tatizo kwa undani na kwa mapana, ndipo tu pale tutakuwa na machungu ya kuweza kupanga mipango ambayo itahakikisha ya kwamba tunatawala rasilimali hizi kwa namna ambazo zinafaidi si kizazi chetu tu, lakini hata vizazi vijavyo. Na lingine ni ambalo limejitokeza wazi ni recommendation ambayo inaenda kwenye elimu. Mkutano umesema wazi kabisa ni muhimu ya kwamba mitaala yetu ya elimu ni lazima iboreshwe ili misingi ya utawala bora wa rasilimali hizi iwe ni sehemu ya masomo ya wanafunzi na wananchi kwa ujumla wanayoyapata, ili waweze kuja kuwa watawala bora zaidi wa hizi maliasili huko mbeleni kuliko hata vile ambavyo sisi tumefanikiwa kufanya leo. Hayo ndiyo maamuzi makubwa na miongozo ambayo imepelekwa kwenye serikali zetu ili tuweze kuyafanyia kazi.